Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Mthalane Unboxing. I'm, of course, Mthalane. I write a blog called www.couchpotatofightguru.blogspot.com, and I'm also the South African correspondent for the Bible of Boxing Ring magazine. We are having a great fight week ahead of us. We've got Miguel Berchelt taking on Francisco Vargas in a rematch. He won the title from Vargas. This is for WBC super featherweight title. And we also got our guy here from Africa, from Ghana, Isaac Dogbe, trying to regain his WBO super bantamweight world title from Emmanuel Navarrete. Two rematches. Those fights should not disappoint. But of course, I'm a South African, and for me this weekend, or rather Monday, is going to be about the man in the photo with me here on my right. And I'm talking, of course, about Moruti Mthalane, the IBF flyweight champion of the world, who will be defending his title in Japan. And he's fighting somebody called Masayuki Kuroda. Now, Kuroda is not a known factor. He's not well known outside of Japan, but we'll talk a bit about him later. Mthalane is kind of a miracle man of boxing. He had a comeback of note in 2018. He regained his old IBF flyweight title that he never lost in the ring by winning the vacant belt against Mohamed Wasim, and then he defended it against another Japanese fighter, Masahiro Sakamoto, and now he's back in Japan. And he regained that title 6 years after he lost it. He was champion from 2009 to 2012 until he was stripped for not making a mandatory for a ridiculous purse. And in that title reign, he beat some pretty good fighters like current stars Zolani Tete and John Riel Casimiro, as well as Julio Cesar Miranda, who he won his first title against. So he's got a very impressive record of only 2 losses, 1 early loss, and his last loss was way back in 2006 when Nonito Donari stopped him on cuts. So he doesn't have, his impressive record is not inflated. He's a well-seasoned, well-accomplished pro, and he is now taking on not Sakamoto, but Masayuki Kuroda. Now, Kuroda is on a 6-fight win streak. He had a nice run as a Japanese champion. And he's got 7 losses and 3 draws also on his record. So it's not a glossy kind of record, something indicative of a world beater. But he has competed at world class before. Back in 2012, he was still then an unknown. He got a draw against Ryoichi Taguchi. Of course, went on to become the world junior flyweight champion. Eventually lost at Oneki Butler. And in 2013, he had his only world title shot for a WBA like flyweight title against Juan Carlos Rebeco, and he was competitive, but he lost that on points. Now, in the run-up to the fight, there's a nice article by Anson Wainwright on the Ring Magazine's blog. Kuroda is quoted as showing that, or saying that Moruti Mthalane is nothing tricky about his style, is very basic, nothing to figure out. Now, that is true. Mthalane is not tricky, he's not a stylist, but what he does very well. He is a very steady pressure fighter with sharp, accurate punches to the head and body. And he's also heavy-handed. He's got a high percentage of stoppages. He's not a one-and-done, one-shot puncher. But if you get hit with him often, chances are you're not going to see the final bell. And for that matter, Kuroda's style is also very basic, not much to figure out there. He's tough and he's fit. He's your typical Japanese fighter in that respect, but he works from a long, hard, straight left jab, hasn't got much variety in it. He throws it the same way every time, and he sets up his right from there and sometimes uses a wide left hook to maneuver you to the right or go with a left hook to the body. He's not very fast off feet or fast hasn't got fast hand speed. He basically walks after you for most of the time. And he's pretty solid, but why does he have all his losses? The reason for it is he's not hard to find. He's easy to hit. His defense consists of keeping his hands up like that. There's no head movement and there's not much in the line of clever angles. So as he is hitting you, what you're throwing back at Kuroda is going to hit him. So if he can't outbox you behind that long jab, he's a taller guy with a reach, and he cannot outwork you, then he's going to lose on points, and that's what happened with many of his close losses. So the thing with Moruti and Mthalane, he also can be hit, he can be hurt, like Muhammad Wasim showed when he knocked him down in their fight. But he fights out of his high guard, peekaboo kind of defense, similar in a way as Kuroda, but he bends at the waist, which Kuroda doesn't do, and he's much more compact. And I think at the end, Moruti and Mthalane's punches were more accurate and they carry more weight. So for Kuroda, if he wants to win, he's got to keep Mthalane at the end of a jab. He's got to stay on the outside of a ring. I think he's a better outside than inside fighter. And he's got to hope that Mthalane, at age 37, he's an old flyweight. That's rare to see a guy that age at that weight division. He's got to hope, but if catches him at the right time and the wheel starts coming off and he's at the right time at the right place. Mthalane, he's got to get past the jab, he's got to bend at the waist, and he's got to just wail away at Kuroda. But what Kuroda does is, if you hurt him, if you buzz him a little bit, he retaliates with guns blazing with both hands. He flurries back. So Mthalane must hit him and then step around him, because as soon as he hits Kuroda, that flurry is going to come back and it's going to go with tit for tat kind of action. So what do I think will happen? On paper, Moruti and Mthalane should get past Masayuki, Kuroda. And I think very well. I think it's going to be a very good fight. The Japanese challenger will come to make a fight of it. There'll be some good exchanges. Both of these guys are going to throw and eat some leather. In the end, I think Moruti and Mthalane is just a little bit more accurate. He just hits a little bit harder. And I think they're both going to hit each other, but he is going to block slightly more punches than Kuroda will. He's going to hit Kuroda more than Kuroda hits him, and he's going to land the more eye-catching punches. So if Kuroda's face holds up, unlike his countryman Masahiro Sakamoto in Mthalane's previous fight, I think Mthalane is going to win a clear decision and a good fight. If his face and his legs doesn't hold up, Mthalane might stop him late. If pushed, I'm going to say Mthalane by unanimous decision to retain his IBF flyweight title. And then we'll look what his next option is. You know, there's some talk about unification of WBO champion Kosei Tanaka in Japan. That will also probably be for a vacant ring belt. And so I'm rooting for our countryman here by my right shoulder, Moruti Mthalane, to defend his IBF world title and bring it home. I think he's going to have a stiff challenge from Masayuki Kuroda. But that's it from me. Please give this YouTube channel a like or subscribe and share with all your friends if you deem it worthwhile. Also, the new digital edition of Ring Magazine is out. For us sitting in South Africa, it's the easier option. Go to www.ringtv.com and just find the subscribe link on the top of your screen. It's instant and it's much cheaper. And until we see each other again, remember to keep those gloves up.